Welcome back to the Budget Gamer channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a really unique indie called Chaok. Chaok is an indie point-and-click adventure game that makes use of a lot of the original fantasy tropes, but definitely establishes itself as part of the indie game adventure renaissance, as it has both the iconic fantasy setting of classic games, but with its own modern true-life twists. Navigating through a side-scrolling two-dimensional point-and-click world, you will play as the main character Chaok as you try to make your way out of your fantasy castle home turned prison. The main story in Chaok is that she's the daughter of a king and queen of a realm, but upon one fateful day, her mother, the queen, was called away to combat. This left the entire realm as well as the princess in the hands of the court wizard. But in the queen's absence, the court wizard has taken this opportunity to himself to dominate the castle, transforming it into a hellish nightmare palace, twisting it and transforming it and summoning dark minions to do his bidding while the captive princess remains quiet and out of sight. However, as any good princess would do, Chaok takes it upon herself to escape her bonds, and eventually, as she makes her way out of this hellish nightmare prison, confronts her wizardy captor. As the gameplay is mostly point and click, but the storyline and feel is mostly adventure, the types of puzzles that you encounter in Chaok is much less about heavy logic puzzling and more about finding items you might need to spur the situation forward. Any small item in the game could be incredibly meaningful in the right situation, but using items unwisely could forfeit your life. As this is both an adventure game and a puzzler, yes, there are opportunities for your character to die. However, immediately upon death, you respawn exactly where you were before you died with your full complement of items. And though puzzles in Chaok may not exactly be heavy logic based, the game's situational themes of mundane mixing with fantasy may cause you to need to make use of certain items that you never would have even noticed in the first place, leaving only trial and error and multiple deaths to hopefully educate you how to get past any sticky spots. The entire realm of Chaok's home castle is mostly open to you from the beginning of gameplay, and every single item that you'll need to progress through the game is available to you pretty much from the start. However, noticing them and being able to make use of them is a completely different story. And I do really appreciate this kind of a system in the layout of a puzzle game because it really highly rewards players' intuition. If you think a cobweb or a leaf might be valuable later, chances are it will be. Though you're not actually able to carry around items that aren't useful, so pretty much anything you can click on and pick up might be something you'll need later in game. Aside from the actual gameplay though, the art in Chaok is phenomenal. And while it's definitely not the best I've ever seen, what I'm really focusing on is the personality of the main character you play through. Facial expressions, tones, squeals, grunts, and obvious disappointment and frustration when puzzles don't seem to work really make you as the player develop a deep bond with the main character. And that aspect, probably above all others, works to create an incredibly rich experience for the player. And this, along with the professional voice acting in the beginning and the end of the game, along with an incredible soundtrack, work to make a great gaming experience overall. However, it is fair to say that certain players might not exactly find the game as enjoyable. The unique twists and story and plot unveilings later in game may cause some players to fall deeper in love with the game because of the rich humanity it possesses in its subtext. However, players that are into Chaok for the purely fantastical side might not really appreciate the divergence from fiction. And to avoid giving it away, that's probably where I'm going to stop. Overall, I'd have to say that Chaok was a pleasure of a gaming experience, and I'm really happy that I got the chance to play it. Its unique visuals combined with its absolutely emotion-packed soundtrack really keep you engrossed in the adventure side of this point-and-click puzzler. But its biggest downfall is probably that it's only about a 2 to 3 hour game. Well, that about wraps up the review of Chaok, so if you enjoyed the review or found it helpful, feel free to throw me a like or a comment to show your support. And don't forget to click that little bell icon when you subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. There are new and unique indie games coming out every single day, so there's always going to be something new to find right here. And if you want to support the channel and help me create these reviews, feel free to check out our Patreon page. But anyway, this has been Budget Gamer, so as always, thanks for watching.